The city started charging for parking in Balboa Park back on January 5th. City leaders say they listened to concerns of residents and museum leaders in the park and came up with something good for everyone.
Residents will be able to park in up to 70% of the lots here in and around Balboa Park for free once they get verified as city residents. And that's a bit of an improvement to how the program first started.
Here's the breakdown of who gets to park where and for how much. In the Level 1 premium lots, residents can pay $8 for the day or $5 for 4 hours. For non-residents, those lots are $16 a day or $10 for 4 hours. In the Level 2 lots, residents can park for free. Non-residents will have to fork over $10 for a day. And in the Level 3 lot, it's also free for residents, $10 a day for non-residents, and the first 3 hours are free. The city will start issuing warning notices today to folks who don't pay for parking, and they say they'll start issuing tickets on March 16th. Jose Isaiah says the city has already taken in $1 million since first starting to charge for parking, and he says the money generated from these kiosks is badly needed to keep the park in good shape.
There's a cost to be able to maintain and do repairs. It's an old park, old buildings, a lot of beautiful trees. All of that costs money, and we're hoping that this will help us generate some funds. Of course, all the funds that are generated stay within the park here.
There has been pushback from the public since the parking fees went into effect, and that pushback has been fierce from museum leaders. I asked Air and Space Museum Chief Jim Kidrick about the newly moderated parking fees.
Isn't that good enough?
Nope.
Why?
Well, there shouldn't be any paid parking in Balboa Park at all.
The changes that are starting today, they don't go far enough.
Same message from Michael Warburton, who heads up the San Diego Model Railroad Museum.
Not only is it eliminating the opportunity for county residents to park for free, we have a ton of people who visit from the county, but it's also not as easy as people think. If you've tried to register as a city resident, it's pretty cumbersome.
Isaiah says the city is aware of that, and they're making people available to help.
We do have digital navigators, as we call them. They're accessible at the libraries, or they can give us a call, and we'll have somebody help you process your application online.
Plus, for at least this week, city staff are posted at various kiosks to offer in-person help. But Warburton says none of it is good enough. He says he's been tracking visitor numbers since the fees went into effect, and he says those numbers are down.
Yesterday, Sunday, I was down 39% in attendance compared to last year's same Sunday. And overall, since January 5th, since this parking thing has been in effect, I'm down 29% in attendance.
Back over here at the Air and Space Museum, and Jim Kidrick says the parking situation as it stands now is nothing short of an existential threat to certain museums and cultural institutions in the park.
There are some here that operate hand-to-mouth. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. Okay, sad. And why would you do that? Why would you as a city risk anyone in this park?
A question the city is sure to be asked by museum leaders in Balboa Park as the next phase of the fight over charging for parking in the park gets underway. John Carroll, KPBS News.